What it do, First Touch crew? We are back, and we are. Wait, hold up. Wait. We're back and we're ready to give you a great show today. Of course, you got me, Dazzarin, da Babberin, da Yapperin, da Blabbering. You know what I do when I do what I do, how I do when I do it. And then, of course, you got my man to the side. Roll with me, waking up at 5 a.m. Jim Diz, the militia, the enableizer, the general. Give a little salute to him. And then, of course, at the end, last but certainly not least, we got TB3. Let the cook zone cook, man.
Look at that. After the intro comes in, man, listen, the lights turn on, man. Had to show up for the K-Core boys.
Bro?
Had to show up for the K-Core boys, boy. You know what I'm saying? What's the color? Blue. Come on now. That's what's going on out there in the EU right now, man. So you know, I had to rep them. And then I had to throw it back to all y'all Rock League OGs. Y'all know what the business is. Y'all know what the business is. One of the greatest jerseys of all time, in my estimation. Moist Esports, man. Listen, if there wasn't a G2, I would have been a Moist fan. They call me biased, but I just like the organizations that do it right. And Moist was doing it right, man. You're doing it right. Let's get wet, man. Come on now. I'm super excited for the show today. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm happy to be here.
Bro, sitting in the dark like Batman, just waiting for his name to be called. That is insane. What an introduction, man.
He did a room dark. You saw him. He was ready. He was loaded.
Dark and everything. He said he playing that perfectly. He like, let me get my camera to the light switch so I can flick it just on time when DeMar calls my name. Everything, bro. Playing that entrance just spotless. You know, T-Base, that was a spectacular performance, man. I love to see that.
That was great. That's it.
I can't wait for the next entrance.
Listen, I could do this all day, man. I got
we know.
I got plenty of ideas. I can always bust something out. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for TB3, man. He was standing there looking like the anime villain, watching the main characters fight to get stronger. He said, "When I reveal myself, I'll reveal myself when the time is right." That was tough. It was aura. It was aura. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Aura today.
I mean, got plenty of that, man. We all know that. We all know Base got plenty of aura.
That's right. And you know what? We got to give somebody to join us on the show today that's going to match our aura, because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of yapping, and we got none other than Melekiym joining the show today. He came in last second. Look at him. Already ready with the aura, man. Melekiym, how you doing? Welcome to First Touch.
Thank you. I really appreciate the invite. Listen, I didn't get the memo. If I knew everyone was coming with sunglasses, I definitely would have joined for sure. But I mean, I guess not. But I'm doing amazing. I appreciate the invite very, very much. And it was a very interesting past weekend in Europe. So I'm very happy to talk some European and just Rocket League in general, for sure.
Okay. Tell the people about yourself. Wait, what do you mean? I don't even have the shades on either, so he matching me. Listen, y'all
I had the shades on either. I had to grab mine.
I don't got the shades. He ain't got the shades. Me and him repping, but that makes sense though, cause we got the two best takes on the crew on the set, so we already know how it's gonna be. So we're gonna be out here spinning the facts, and y'all gonna be out here doing y'all yap up top, and that's just what the business is gonna be. But Mel, for the people who don't know you, man, tell them what you do, man. I see you got your name, GK Melekiym, right now. What else you been up to since you been in the RALEIGH esports team, man?
Yeah, so I got into Rocket League esports back in 2021 when my friend made me download the video game, and I really thought it was very stupid. It was car soccer, and then I got hooked, and I don't know. It does what it does to a lot of people. Just like it brings you in, and then I got really addicted to it, and it wasn't healthy, but it was a really, really good time. And then I made my own league. I had no clue RLCS was a thing. And then all of a sudden, I heard Shogun's commentary on introduction to the spring split of 2020 or the RLCS X. I'm like, oh, shoot. And then I got into Rocket League esports that way. And I just kind of started building up. I've always had a love for commentary. So I really did start commentating, and I love to do it all the time. So thank you to all the people that did mentor me up to the place where I could actually get some pretty good gigs. So I'm a commentator, and I do esports production, and I do managing. So that's the level I do right now. I also have worked with Geeky. I worked with Snowman when they came up last year as their head of production and commentator. And as well this past year, Elevate and Luna Galaxy. So those were pretty cool. So also I got to do the GSES, which UT base got to help me on and work with me on it for the championship, which was a really cool time in Rocket League right before the season started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, you usually have a couple hot takes, couple strong opinions over the course of the last year or 2 years, huh?
Oh yeah. There's a reason why Carmine Court fans don't like me right now. But
Oh.
I
Whoa,
do
okay.
I do have a lot of predictions, and I wouldn't even call them hot because I'm usually right anyways, but I mean
Sound just
it's
like him,
I
bro.
think it's
That's
very
crazy.
common sense, I think. But yeah.
It's a mini T-bates right there.
All right, we gonna find out. We gonna find out. But
That's
listen, now
right.
the intro's out the way. Now you're in the first touchdown. We go see what you can do.
That's
See
right.
what you up to.
So again, Mel, thank you for joining the show. Of course, congrats on all your success, and of course, we wish you more in the future. And listen, you've had a lot of takes over the years, like Base says. I'm gonna put them to the test. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about it. The blue wall stands tall. They were knocked down by Dignitas last time around, but this time they came back, and they came back with a statement, a sweep in the grand finals, and also confirming the #1 seed for Worlds. Can we get those Carmine Corp versus Dignitas highlights, please, Ben? Thank you so much. Well, Diz, man, how are we feeling about this Carmine Corp victory?
I mean, they're just back to where they belong. I'm actually really curious to hear what Mel's hot take was about them, because that's, I mean, I kind of wanted.
He said the correct take, not the hot take.
He said what?
He said all his takes are correct.
No, he said it was hot. He said that Carmine Corp fans don't really like him right now because of it. So I kind of want to hear what that's about. Mel, if you can.
Well, I don't know. They don't like me because. Yeah, I don't know.
Before we get that, man, we gotta talk about the clips. We gotta talk about the clips, man.
Let's talk about the clips, man.
Let's talk about the
get into
gameplay.
clips,
What
man.
happened? What happened, man? Tomorrow, what was the series?
Like I said, the series was 4-0, man. It was KC domination the entire way through. I mean, of course, you know, Dignitas, they've done well. They're one of the few teams that have beaten Carmine Corp in a best of 7 this year, which is a strong feat. There's a short list. You can count it on one hand.
We over here emphasizing these clips like we ain't know what happened. Are you serious?
Somebody might
It was
want to go back and
domination,
watch the
straight
clips,
domination.
man.
Like I don't even understand why we're questioning what happened in these clips, man. You see the triple commit coming out of the net from Dignitas right here. This is what it was, man. It was offense versus defense the whole time. Look, bro, unbearable. They couldn't handle it. 4-0 sweep. There was some moments where you were like, okay, Dignitas might be able to do this, but then not. Carmine Corp, they came back. They're playing how they're expected to play, how people expect them to play, the standard that they have set this entire season. That's what happened, bro. That's what happened in the clip.
Listen, that's what the people want to hear from Roll is, man. Listen,
I don't know why we're questioning what happened. What really happened, man?
The people want to hear,
man. It was a domination, man. Like, what do you think happened?
Listen. I'm convinced now. I heard the Roll this take. I'm good.
Can I hear Mel's? Like, I want to hear.
We gotta go through the bracket first.
Listen. Oh my God.
Wait till we get back to the cameras. This man is so excited about this take.
He's ready for the heat. He's ready for the heat. Here, let's talk about it, man.
Can we look at the bracket?
Let's take a look at the bracket. Of course, Carmine Corp, yes, they did win, but there were other implications in this bracket. Ones we definitely are going to dive into very soon in our next topic. But of course, you can see Vitality taking down GK in the quarterfinals, NIP versus Mates. There was a race between GK and Mates on who could get further to make Raleigh. Mates ended up beating NIP. GK couldn't get the job done against Vitality. Mates moved on, took K Corp to 6, but still couldn't beat them. And Dignitas taking down Vitality in 6 again. And then, of course, those are the finals. And that's everybody.
That's the whole bracket. Back to us. There you go, Raul. Do what you gotta do.
Well, it's not me. I'm just waiting to hear Mel, please enlighten me, please.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a very, very good regional from Carmine Corp. I will say that for sure. Carmine Corp are Carmine Corp. They're going to roll past almost everybody. There are some teams in Rocket League that can handle the heat of Carmine Corp. Actually, there are no teams in Rocket League that can really handle the heat of Carmine Corp. But there are only a couple teams that will not crack under the pressure of Carmine Corp. And there've only been 2 teams that have proven to do so. One of those teams is Geekend, and one of those teams is Dignitas. And past this past split, Dignitas has definitely rose. They've risen their level from a substantial amount from last split for sure. But But if you go to a grand finals, the pressure's on them for a 2-peat. The pressure's on them in a best of 7 to beat Carmine Corp again. They couldn't do it. They didn't look like a level matching team on the field. Either that or Carmine Corp just swept through. But there were a lot more unforced errors from Dignitas in that entire series than from Carmine Corp. And with Carmine Corp, they're going to be almost none every single time.
So would you call Dignitas' first win a fluke?
Don't get me like that. I think their win in the regional, in the last regional, was I wouldn't call it a fluke. I definitely don't think Carmine were at their desired level. I think anyone could agree on that for sure. But to be fair, they beat Gentlemates to make it. They beat Vitality and they beat Carmine Corp. They literally had a GK level run. I wouldn't call it a fluke. It was a really impressive performance on the weekend. I'm just thinking, like, I think Carmine Corp dropped their level because they had a 4-0 sweep against GK. Then they dropped their level by a super amount when they played Dignitas because, I don't know, it was a lot of weird. The level wasn't great. I think especially they had to lead Carmine Corp in going into Game 6, 3-2 in the series, and it just dropped from there. Like it wasn't a consistent level from them. Although it was close, it wasn't like they kept their same level of pace and their.
So he's saying it wasn't a fluke.
No, but also what he's saying is that if both teams are peaking, Dignitas will never win. Like if Carmine Corp is playing the level that they should play, then Dignitas should never win.
I mean, listen. That's facts. That's not hot though. That's just correct.
No, but then that would mean that like they're just not. They shouldn't have won. It was a fluke.
That's not a fluke.
It was.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means, man.
That is what that means. Because if they're supposed to be playing at the level that they're playing at, and Dignitas will never win against Carmine Corp if they're playing at that level, then them winning is kind of a fluke. Like they shouldn't win.
There's a logical fallacy in that because you're making the assumption that Carmine Corp is always going to be playing at that level. And it's more times than not. It's probably more times than not that Carmine's not going to be playing at their most excellent level, their highest level possible. They probably will be playing at that.
Should that be not the expectation from Carmine Corp to play at that desired level?
I mean, based on them, but I mean that's not what happens in life. Steph Curry probably expects to go 10 for 10.
So we're making excuses already.
Every single time he hops onto the basketball court, but he doesn't do that.
And then he wants to compare it to Steph Curry. He brings up Steph Curry, man.
I mean, Messi probably expects to win every single Champions League. He couldn't do that. Was that not him playing to his best level? I don't think so. Other things happen. Other things happen. So I will say I don't think it's necessary. If Carmine and I would say the correct analysis of this is that Carmine has a higher floor than Dignitas, and if both teams are playing at their floor, Carmine's going to win. If Carmine's playing at the floor or a little bit higher, maybe Dignitas is on their peak level. Dignitas playing their best game or close to their peak level. Dignitas has a good shot at winning. They can potentially take down Carmine. I think that falls for a lot of teams. But if Carmine's playing their best game, nobody in the game, it looks like, can take them right now.
So if Dignitas plays Carmine Corp for the rest of the year, say we had a extended season and they never win again, they never beat Carmine Corp again, was this not a fluke? Them winning.
It's not a fluke, them winning. I don't know what the. I don't know.
Look, you're hesitant on it because you're in your mind. Like, it kind of is. It kind of is.
No,
like,
because
at that point,
I mean,
like,
right? I don't know.
I think that's an unfair question. I think that's
I like that. I like that. That's an unfair question.
Okay, see, look, we're leaving. We're backing out of here. Okay, go ahead and take your little bro side. Go ahead, buddy. Yeah. Mel, save him, Mel, save him.
All right. Just to add on to this, here's some differences in statistics from Regional 2, or Split 2 Regional 2, Split 2 Regional 3. The one where Dignitas won, the major difference is the demos. I believe Carmine Corp had 56 demos and took 45. When they won, the demos that they gave or dished out was 31. The demos took was 12. I think all the numbers are very close, except that's the biggest difference was the physicality in the series where Carmine Corp lost. They went for more demos and got more demos, but they also took more as a total as well. We're talking they took 45, and then when they won, they took 12. So I think like that's the difference between the movement. The other stats are pretty close. Goals per game, 1.71 on the loss, 1.75 on the win. But they stopped Dignitas from scoring a lot. When Dignitas won, they averaged 2.14 goals per game. When they lost, they averaged 0.75.
Interesting.
I mean, I think that's huge on the back of Mel's point when he was pointing out that Dignitas was on the back foot a lot. And like when Carmine Corp is extremely aggressive, way more than Dignitas, so you're gonna result in way more demos. And Dignitas being on the back foot is gonna result in a lot less demos. Like Dignitas was playing a lot more risk taking and not less scared the first time around. And to Mel's point, they had more pressure this time around, which is why they kind of sat in net and like they weren't as risk taking and aggressive against this Carmine Corp roster. So Carmine Corp just set their foots back down and took over the game.
I got a question, man. We've seen this Carmine Corp domination. I mean, they got a whole bunch of points. I wish I could pull up the total points for the season. It's a lot though. They got a lot. I think it might be like 122 for the year, or
I think it's 118.
118. Listen,
I'll check.
is any team in the game capable of beating Carmine Corp right now, or is it just gonna be a wash? Are they playing their best ball? I want to ask the whole room.
Yes.
It's 122.
Yes.
Oh wait,
Okay.
who's better? Wait, who can beat them?
Bro, come on. NRG can beat them.
NRG can beat them?
NRG can beat this roster. Yes. I do believe full-heartedly that North America's best could beat this roster. I do think in Europe, Carmine Corp has a absolutely suffocating style. Carmine Corp doesn't get to play NRG in scrims every single week. That's not going to happen. It only happens at majors. These are two very different play styles. And I do feel, I mean, these are two different play styles, two strong mentals. I feel like Carmine Corp is more consistent regionally, obviously, than NRG. But NRG, like, these are LAN players. Either way, very, very awkward loss against Ultimates in the last major. But I feel like NRG could definitely take them here. I don't think that should be a conversation. I think NRG should be able to beat this Carmine Corp team. And I do feel like Falcons could also beat this Carmine Corp team as well.
NRG Falcons, that's what he's got. What do the two shade guys have to say up there?
I mean, I don't disagree with that. They can beat them. Like, there's a lot of teams that can do it if, you know, Carmine Corp is not playing to their floor expectations and the other team is, you know, pulling a Dignitas and maybe performing on all cylinders that day. So yeah, there are teams. I agree with the statement. There are teams that can win. NRG being one of them, 100%.
I agree. I mean, listen, at the top is very close. You can see teams take games off of them. You even go back to Birmingham. NRG went 7 games with Falcons. So I'd say that level of competition there. It's not a wild take to make.
Not a wild take to make. Okay, so you take Carmine versus NRG right now. Who you taking?
I'm taking Carmine, man.
I'm taking K Corp.
Like what? No, who are you taking? NRG, Mel?
Yeah, I'll take NRG.
You believe in that?
And I'll tell you the reason. Yeah, I'm taking NRG, and I'll tell you the reason why too. Like me as a Geek cast, we've had to match up against Carmine Corp so many times this year. It is not a Carmine Corp is a really hard team to beat, but it's not impossible to beat them. I think NRG will, like, they have the desired level when they go up against the highest level of competition every single time. There's also a clutch factor about NRG. There is one with Carmine Corp, but for NRG, there is also a clutch factor with them that they are, if they're ever in a bad spot, they are able to raise their level for sure. And especially against the Carmine Corp roster that if something goes bad for them, Vatira might smack his desk, and then who knows what in the world happens there.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm just saying.
Hold on, Mel. Let me get on you real quick. You just said there's a clutch factor for NRG. How many grand finals have they been to where they lost at majors internationally?
I don't know, 2, I think.
What's the record in the finals?
If I remember correctly, I think it's 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. They're negative. How can you say the team has clutch factor when they're negative?
How many grand finals have Carmine Corp been to?
A lot, man. A lot.
In the majors, how many major finals has Carmine Corp been to in the last 2 seasons? The last 2 seasons. Okay.
I think like maybe
so
like 2.
that's
Are you saying LeBron? Are you saying LeBron got a clutch factor role?
What?
Are you saying LeBron don't have a clutch factor?
I didn't say that.
Well, listen, how many finals has LeBron been to? No, how many finals has LeBron been to?
I don't know, bro. You tell me.
He's 4 and 6. He's 4 and 6.
He's 4 and 6. Okay, cool.
Does he have a clutch factor? Yes or
no? We're talking about a team here, not an individual player. We're talking about a team in NRG and not an individual player in LeBron James.
You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going?
Yeah, you're talking about an individual player. Like that would be like you saying Daniel doesn't have or Daniel has clutch factor. Like I would agree. Okay, that is that. You have to differentiate between a team and a player, man. You can't compare a team to LeBron James.
It's not fair though. What you just said is not fair. You just asked me if how many NRG finals or how many finals did NRG win? What's their record in finals? I said 1 and 2. Vatira has been to 1 major final in the past 2 seasons. That is not a fair take to make whatsoever. Vatira has been to 1. The NRG players have been to 3. That's not a fair take to make. That NRG has a clutch factor. That's a very odd.
Oh, I like it. Then it really is the LeBron argument. He's making it to the finals.
You
he can't win them all. That doesn't make him not clutch, though.
Hold on, I got 2 people talking in my ear.
That doesn't make him not clutch,
I got 2 people in my ear.
He's making it to the finals. NRG's making it.
Okay, but they're losing in the biggest moment.
Oh, what Mel's saying is that Vati hasn't been getting there. Vati hasn't been getting there. At least NRG's getting there.
2. Exactly, and they won 1 of the 3 grand finals they've been to.
Wait. Vati has more. Time out. Roll this. I'm gonna help you out here because the argument is not about Carmine Corp. The argument is about NRG and their clutch factor. That was the question. You tried to hit him with a deflection. I saw it. You deflected back to K Corp. I like what you did there. But we're getting off topic. The topic is, does NRG have the clutch factor?
They do.
The answer to the question.
Yes. And Vati has the clutch factor too. They all have the clutch factor because they're all winners. Winners all have clutch factors. That's it. That's simple plan. There's no discussions to be made about it. I just wanted to play around the conversation. I was enjoying it. You know what my biggest surprise was this weekend, though? You know what the biggest surprise was this weekend?
What was it?
Oh, it was this.
What is it?
About Europe versus
I don't know. I think I unmuted the tab.
League right now.
What was he saying?
There's been some talk from North America that they're the best online region. I'm not sure if you know about this, but what are you thinking right now about Europe and the level of the region compared to
Johnny tried.
Honestly, because I don't care about like EU better or NA, but I think we are above everyone right now. Like I stay humble, but I think it is the case. But I do think the top 4 NA is probably better than the top 4 EU.
Oh,
that's my take. Because I think they have really good teams right now. Like,
you heard it there from Vatira, but this isn't the first time you heard it. If you tuned in last week, you heard Expert say it himself. The top 4 from NA better than the top 4 from EU, man.
Nah, listen, man, listen. At the end of the day, we all just speculating, so it doesn't really matter. Younger Bates, I would get up in arms. I'd be like, oh yeah. But now listen, I'm older, I'm wiser. I got a little more poise and more tread on my tires. You know what I'm saying? It's as good, as interesting to hear that he said that. That means that at least Europe respected. I'm gonna still say that EU's got it going on until proven otherwise on the land. But I would say NA's getting better, man. That's good to say. And listen, Johnny tried to do that bait. And Valtira said, nah, man, get that out of here, man. I ain't falling for that. NA's looking good right now. That's all I want to say. That was my biggest surprise of the weekend. It wasn't the fact that Carmine won. It was the fact that Vati and them boys said over there, man, listen, man, NA's looking not bad. And I respect that.
That's fair. That's definitely fair enough. I can agree with it. I like it. It's a great take. I'm just really happy to see the growth. See the North American growth. Raleigh is set up to be a great major event.
We got answered on the pitch, baby. Also, why is Bass from the past saying I took his clip? Bass, do you own that clip? You don't. So stop yapping.
Wow. Wow.
So stop yapping. I'm watching the chat, yo. I'm watching in their eyes. All right, let's go.
All right, man. Well, speaking of EU top 4, EU Raleigh teams are set. And the question to the panel, did EU send their best 4? We'll take a look at the Raleigh points graphic. Of course, Karma Corp sitting at 52, Dignitas at 42. They'll be in second seed. Vitality third seed with 32. And then Mates making their first event major of the season at 26 points. Big turnaround from Mates compared to the start of the season. But are they the best? No GK and no NIP. I want to go to the GK man himself, Mel. What are you thinking, man? Is this the best 4 you got?
Well, I see Gex in the chat immediately telling me to tell y'all no. Oh, Gex. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, I will say this. All right. For Gentlemates, they have had very, very good form since bringing on Eugen. He's been the difference maker for them for sure, and I think everyone saw that coming. I do feel like GK I don't know why. GK is a team that I feel they play good versus certain teams and they don't play good versus certain teams. We beat every single team outside of the top 6 that we should beat, and then struggle against the teams top 6 and above. We've lost to Gentlemates in 3 consecutive game 5s. We've lost to NIP 3 times. We're 1-2 against Vitality. We have a 4-1 head-to-head with Dignitas though. And Dignitas is number 2 seed. So I don't know what's going on with GK. I do feel like internationally, again, GK are going to be a matchup roster. I do individually feel like this split, the level from Gentlemates is really, really good. So I do feel like they probably did send their best 4. I don't think GK are too far off though. I think GK probably still will make Worlds. I don't see a grand final or semi-final appearance at Major for Gentlemates. So I do think GK are going to make Worlds. Gentlemates will still have to go through LCQ. But for this specific Major, I do feel like EU did send their best 4.
All right, EU sent their best 4. Let me see. What we got again? It's Carmine, Dig, Vitality, and Mates. Then Mates. Yeah, I mean, they look the best. They look the most quality. I think NA and EU both to the top 4 respectively. This Raleigh Major on the road to Raleigh, I should say. They got the job done. I mean, Gentlemates look not bad, man. Eugen looks like he has some promise. I like seeing what he could do. Seiko, Raul talked about it last week. He didn't say Stephen A's a bad man, but he did say that he should be there and he should be out there playing on land because he's really good. And then on top of that, then Vitality. Vitality got a lot of question marks about Vitality right now, man. They have not been up to form. I think they've been very lackluster for the 3 players and their caliber that they can bring to the field. We'll talk about them in a little bit later though. And then of course you got Carmine. So yeah, I would say top 4. Top 4 guaranteed. That's their best 4. And I would say Gentlemates definitely did earn that over GK. GK's got to be able to handle Vitality right there if they want to be able to make it. They couldn't get the job done. There was no way Fierce out here trying to talk about the formats. No more. Go ahead.
The format.
Don't talk to me about my league play. I'll talk about league play. I can't do it though.
Here we go.
I'm not gonna
man. It, what are you thinking of the EU4, man?
I mean, it's just gonna be reiterating what everybody else said. Like, this is the best 4.
You agree? Let's go.
Yeah, it's the best 4.
Okay. So, NA sending their best 4, and EU sending their best 4 to Raleigh. We'll see what happens now. Mel answered this earlier, but of course, it's going to be a question that is going to linger all the way through, even until the tournament is played, as Mates make Raleigh. Can they secure top 2 to go to the World Championship? Can we get to take a look at the season's points graphic just so you guys can understand the situation for Mates? Yes, because if you can look here, Mates are 34 points. You see this?
They have to get top 2 to get 13 points.
They got, you can see it right there. I believe 16 is not going to cut it. They're going to need a little bit more from the Raleigh Major here. And I think if they ended up winning their semifinal match, they would have been in a good spot. They didn't do it. So yeah, now they're going to need that 24 points from Raleigh in order to make the World Championship.
So how many points does third, fourth get?
Third, fourth get 16.
But it'd be 16 plus 34.
Wait,
That'd be above 47.
I do bad math.
So they need a third, fourth.
They actually need a top 4? I did bad math. No.
No, the 4 is already added, John says.
Okay, the 4's
get
already
it.
added.
So
Okay.
it'd be 12.
Yeah.
What was that? 34? So it'd be at what, 46? And you said GK has 47.
Yep.
Okay.
Woo, I did good math.
Okay, listen. Yeah, I'm gonna have to question that math, man. Are they gonna be able to get there? That's tough, bro. That's tough for them. They would have to do something. Have they even been to a grand final yet? Was that? Oh. No, okay, they lost a semifinal with Carmine. Was that a semifinal? They played Carmine when they pushed them over to game 7? The first go around? That was semifinal. They haven't even been to a grand final yet.
Right.
Ooh. I mean, but then again, you gotta remember, Gentlemates. Back in wherever I was, where was I?
Copenhagen.
Bro, that's a whole different roster,
was.
man.
I don't hear about that.
Whole different makeup.
You got Captain Seiko and
you
Juicy.
had a Tachi instead of Eugen.
Okay, you act like Eugen a scrub, though.
No, I'm not acting like he's a scrub. He's not a scrub. He's a fantastic player, but this is his first LAN, and he has no experience compared to Itachi experience. Like,
I don't think it even matters about Eugen's first LAN. It's about the competition they have to face to make to the top 2. I think NA is looking as good as they've looked in a very long time. Not only that, I think really. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we think Gentlemates. No, like we think Gentlemates can go past. Not all of these, but we're saying either or. Carmine, Dignitas, Vitality, Energy, Ultimates, Space Station Gaming, Gen G, Falcons, Fury, and Secret?
I don't know, Mel. We asked this question the first time they won when Bates was bringing up their first time they won.
Man, hold on now. Don't sleep on OCE.
Oh, no. Sleep on the OCE team. Sleep on the OCE team. We're asleep, bro. We are talking, man. We're talking.
Hey. Don't sleep my boys from the land down under now. No, don't sleep on my boys now.
Man.
Listen. Verdict probably might make something shake too, man. Might get a couple W's. You never know what's going on. You never know what's... Don't sleep, bro. Hold on now. Wake up now.
That's crazy.
Wake up now. Don't sleep.
That's a big propaganda going on.
It's so propaganda, bro. Luckily, you got a sticky note. You can see the sticky note on the dad's screen right now.
Hit the bed, man.
Man, listen.
Sleeping, man.
But you gotta think about it, though. You gotta think about it, though, Kamel. You bring that up, bro. You brought up a whole bunch of teams, man. You brought up a whole bunch of teams. Now, listen. Back in Copenhagen, who did Gentlemates have to beat? They had to beat the Carmine. Carmine was coming out number 1 seed. So you still had Carmine. Still had Falcons, had Vitality, had G2. Yeah, how many extra say what they really is? G2. Yeah, G2.
I'm about to say something.
You had Gen G.
Like,
Rule 1, BDS, Falcons.
Yeah, BDS.
Be Gen G in 7, K Corp in 7, and G2 in 6.
Yeah, you had to beat all these teams. Listen, they might have like 9 teams now, but they had a good about 7 they had to go through last time around, man. I mean, listen. The odds weren't in their favor last time they got the job done. So we can't say that the precedent isn't there.
They were also the 4th seed at that event too.
It's too different. I think every situation that you just mentioned here is too different. Like right after that major, Carmine Corp fell off heavy. Gentlemates, they had their form like level, but they couldn't raise it. Are we saying that again, like Rodis said, this team does not have Itachi? That's all I gotta say. This team does not have that prime. I should say prime Itachi right there. I don't know what's going on right now, but that was prime Itachi last season. And I'm not saying that Eugen. Actually, I do not think that Eugen will be able to level to even get to that level. You get close. He's a really, really, really good player. Don't get me wrong, but the impact that Itachi had for that team. Not to mention, Eugen has to do a lot more to get his team over the line. I got to watch this Gentlemates team many times firsthand. It is a lot of Eugen, okay? It is a lot of Eugen, all right? And
but you see them yesterday.
I did see them yesterday, and it was still a lot of Eugen. And if Eugen can do the same thing he's doing online at his first ever major in Rocket, I don't know.
Zen did it.
Is he Zen? Did he just win 3 regionals? I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't know why we're comparing you to
Drawley
Zen,
did it.
bro. Like,
Drawley did it. Drawley did it. I'm just saying the rookies show up.
I don't know why you just did that.
Well, you got me there. You got me there. But I'm just saying the rookies show up. The rookies show up. Drawley did it. What was Drawley's first land? Somebody remember? What was Drawley's first land, man?
Impossible. Impossible.
What was
Drawley's first land? Didn't he play with BDS?
Drawley's first land.
Yeah, it was like last season, right, with
Yeah,
BDS.
Yeah,
they didn't play
Drawley's
good.
first land. They lost in the top 8
play well?
G2.
Yeah,
so,
they didn't play good the first land.
Okay, Drawley
Remember,
went on
bro,
top
everybody
8,
was
man.
calling Drawley a bust. Like, people were on Drawley because of his bad performances.
Yeah, they were.
Who else had a good first land? I mean, Justin had a great first land. Listen, man, you had.
Yo, we're going way back in the day, bro. We had to go deep in that bag.
Did Scrub have a great first land?
We had to go deep in the bag.
I'm just saying.
Yo, he got the history book out right now, man.
We've got it proved. Turbo had an amazing first land. Man, listen, the rookies when they show up.
No, but you
might
don't
be
remember
one of them.
Turbo.
Bro, but you don't remember
might
all
be
the
one of
other
them.
rookies. All the other rookies that
Fati
made
had a great
majors.
land. And Finley.
You're forgetting so many other rookies that made majors and absolutely just like no, they couldn't perform.
Tell him,
Riley was one of them. Remember Drees, that was a disaster class in a couple years ago. That wasn't great. And then we had that Dignitas team 2 years ago with Evo and Andy and whoever, I don't know who that was. That wasn't like there are a lot of rookies that are coming and that are not.
All right. Listen, that Dignitas team, man. Listen, I respect that Dignitas team, man. Let's not compare that Dignitas team to Gentleman Squad. Now we're getting a little blasphemous now, guys. Come on now. You know how much I love Chronic won his first land. Chronic won his first land, man. Listen, man. I mean, you got the precedent. You've got the precedent. These rookies have came out there balled out. Seiko's a world champion. Is Seiko also a major champion?
Yeah, because Gentleman's won the major.
Yeah, Seiko's a major champion.
Yeah.
Juicy, a major MVP.
We was the only one on the field. We started arguing about Gentleman's and completely forgot.
I just forgot Seiko was on the team.
No, I didn't. I didn't forget about that. I was trying to remember which major he won.
Was that how irrelevant Seiko wasn't? Wait, I'm joking.
Whoa. Hey. Listen. We laid the floor down. The question is, can they get the job done? Can they get top 2?
No.
Can they get top 2?
No, they cannot.
Mel saying no. GK's in. GK's in. Raw, what you saying?
GK's
in for Mel. What you got, Raw?
Yeah, I mean, they're not making top 2.
Not Seiko in the chat.
They forgot Seiko was a world champion.
Oh, Mel gotta go high, bro. Go high, Mel. Seiko, I don't know. I apologize for him. I don't know why he said all that, man. Like,
bro, I'm playing. Chill. I'm playing. You know, everyone knows I'm playing. I'm playing.
Bro, what you think, bro? What you think? No, Mel, we come back to you. What you think, bro?
I just think it's way too difficult this time around, especially with the inexperience from Eugen. I don't know, man. I think he's gonna have to do a lot.
Gotta do a lot. Okay, Raul doesn't have him getting the top 2. How far you have him going?
I think that's a top 18 for sure.
Top 18?
Like, I think they're for sure top 8. Like that's the lowest level. That's their floor. I think it's top 8 is their floor.
Okay. What you got? What you got, DeMar?
I think they could do it.
Think they could do it?
I think they could do it. I think
He's saying that because Seiko in the chat. He's saying that because Seiko's in the chat, bro.
Exactly. That shows me Seiko's watching first touch.
No,
he's locked in. He's locked in. There we go. Look at my guy. That's my guy, buddy.
I don't want you to know. You can't even do that. That's fake. That is fake from DeMar, bro. He's only saying that because you're here. He's literally only saying that because you're here.
Here comes the propaganda.
That's so fake.
Here comes the propaganda. No.
I mean, if you want fake support, Seiko, go ahead, man. Like,
I guess it's fake support. You didn't even hear my reasoning.
You're talking about the guy who jumps from team to team?
Here we go.
I mean, like, if you want that support,
because you used to call me a bandwagon. There's no bandwagon here. Where's the bandwagon at? Okay, they're not doing good. All right, so there's no bandwagon.
They're not doing good. They're doing great.
He just...
They're doing great.
I got
No, they need, but they could be doing better. They know they could be doing better.
Oh my!
And
God.
you know how Seiko knows he can do it better. He said, "Let me go ahead and tune in first to see what they say, man." That shows you a guy that's dedicated to the game. And since he's dedicated to the game, I gotta roll with him, man. I gotta roll with him.
So fake. No, what are you saying, man?
No, I was just saying he doesn't want to get fought by, but he doesn't want to get jumped by the French when he gets to Raleigh. I have nothing to be afraid of. I have nothing to be afraid of because DK didn't make it, so I can't go to Raleigh anyways. I got nothing to be afraid of. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You ran out the room. I don't want to hear that from you. Okay.
No,
don't do that.
I wasn't afraid. I was just surprised. I'm not afraid.
You fled the scene, buddy.
That was, bro. No, that was just hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was
hilarious.
That was funny.
The French not sliding. The French not in Raleigh. They waiting for Leon. I will say this, man. I do think that Gentleman's gonna hit the run. I think honestly, I thought when they played Carmine yesterday, they started off real slow. I thought they made some good adjustments going in. Won game 4 and game 5. And if they played like that level early on, I think they could have gave Carmine more of a run for their money. Then you got Coach Farrell, best coach in the game, made the adjustments. Carmine took him out game 6, Neo Tokyo, no champions still in sight. And saying that, though, I think with Eversax behind the keys still working, they have a month of preparation. I think they got a chance, man. I think you can get a top 8. I think any team in the top 8 can honestly win the whole event. It just takes being on that day. It really is what it's gonna be. Even Carmine, they should be the favorites, but if they end up falling off, not having their best day, Genomates being on, they can get the job done.
It takes you being at your ceiling while the other team's at their floor.
No, they don't have to be at their ceiling. That's not what I said. I said Carmine. If Carmine's at their ceiling, I mean, it's just gonna be
no one's beating them, right?
I mean, nobody should. NOG talent wise can beat them. NOG talent wise can beat them. I want to see more from NOG consistently. But
no, what you gotta say, man?
Everybody else, nah. I think Genomates can make that run, bro. But if they don't, regardless, they got the last chance qualifiers, and they'll probably play NIP in the LCQ.
Yeah, I'm saying that right now. We will see Genomates at the World Championship.
Saying it right now, Genomates at the World Championship?
Yes.
Wait, over NIP, really?
Yeah.
Over NIP, for sure.
I was asking.
Wait, you think NIP over Bates?
I don't know. NIP's level dropped so badly. I didn't like even that Gentlemates like best of 7 series within the top 6, and I watched that deeply. Oh my god, I cannot believe how like low the level was from NIP in that series. You can ask Gex too. Like we will watch party on the GK channel. That was not good at all. You play Gentlemates, this level of Gentlemates versus probably first split NIP, which was pretty good. I don't know. I do think NIP wins that matchup, but right now I don't know what in the world happened to NIP. So
I mean, NIP
I couldn't argue with.
They look unorganized.
I'm saying this as an NIP fan because I like the team a lot. Like I like the players. Oski on a personal level, I know him and his brother. Nas individually, it was always really good. We all know what Itachi does. Even Snatsky as a coach, like. It's like you have all the pieces, but you don't got the instruction manual to put them together. That's what NIP has felt like this entire season. It's like assembling parts to build something, but you don't got the instruction manual. You don't know what goes where. That's really how it's felt. But so I gotta, even though I like them, I still gotta give them credit or give the teams that are doing well credit because Genomates has improved with Eugen, and I hope to see them have continued success. I wouldn't be mad though if NIP turned it around, but I just can't see it right now.
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Right.
What's next, What's next to Bezos?
Let's go to South America real quick. Let's spin that globe. Furia and Secret make Raleigh. Of course, Furia with a top 4 finish at the Birmingham Major. And since that finish, they've remained very high on a lot of people's power rankings over the course of this split for the Raleigh Major. Of course, Furia have made it. Team Secret started out this split, defeating Furia in a best of 7 at the grand finals. At the beginning, Furia bounced back and took them down the next 2 times without a worry. The question is, though, can Furia replicate that same performance? Is Secret going to be able to rise up to the task as well? Should we keep these guys on our radar? How we feeling, gentlemen? Roldez, I want to start with you.
I mean, quick answer is yes. Keep them on your radar, but I think more so the Furia squad than the Secret. I think that Sam 2 really comes out. They might take a couple games off of some teams, and push some teams to their limits, but they're really not at the level that Furia is at. Furia kind of just dominates that region, and Furia has gone back to South America, which I think a lot of us should believe that was a great move for them. Now they come into these majors a lot more of a surprise to these teams that don't really get to play them and don't get to figure out their play style as often anymore. So I think Furia is going, and it's a big reason why people have kept them high on their power rankings, because they do come into these majors where teams are just caught off guard and by the level of aggression that they come out with. So a fantastic super team roster from South America. And yeah, you should 100% be on the lookout for them come land.
Mel, Furia ended up losing to Vitality in round 2 of Swiss. They beat Complexity in 5, and then they beat Dignitas in 4 in round 4 of Swiss to make bracket. In bracket, Furia took down Twisted Minds 4-1, then took down Vitality in a very entertaining 7-game series, and then, of course, got swept by Karmine Corp. Do you think they can replicate or improve this performance come Raleigh?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't. I think like Furia, their level has I don't know what happened in Regional 4, but after that it had been really, really swift from them, especially knowing that they had to meet expectations, especially for themselves. So I do think Furia should be able to, at the very least, replicate the level from them here at the major. But I really do need to see something special from them at this major to count them as a contender in the World Championship.
Lastly, Bates, what are your thoughts on Sam?
Listen, man, I think Fury gonna make it back to the top 4. I think they can get that job done, bro. They've been looking good, man. They're playing their best ball. They're playing their best ball I think they've ever played. Lost really performed in Birmingham. That was the takeaway for me, because I mean everybody hypes him up. I think he comes underneath them expectations. I think in Birmingham he played his best game. You always know what Yan's gonna do, and Drew's so solid. So, I mean, I can be honest with you, bro.
I think
really
at Birmingham
they get top 4. It really
I think at Birmingham, Yan didn't really live up to like.
I mean,
like he wasn't playing as.
He might have been playing. He might have been playing a little more back though. I think he was letting Lost cook. It just seemed like Lost and Drew was doing more. Lost and Drew were doing more, and then Yan, I mean, we give him his spots. He makes it happen. Now, I will say, though, that even when he has those spots, if he does elevate to that level, I mean, man, they could be in the grand final, man. They lost to Karmine.
Yeah.
Karmine was 4-0 and everybody.
People were saying that it was like him focusing on ones a little too much, because he had the ones tournament that major as well.
Oh, yeah. Had to play
so he could have been mixing in a lot of ones, which was messing up with his play style. But I think Mel brings up a great point that they really need to show something this major in order to contend for the World Championship. So he brings up a great question, is like, where do y'all have them? Like early predictions for Worlds. Do you think that they can win? Like they can actually win, get over the hump finally and win?
I got to see the RALEIGH again. I got to see him again in RALEIGH. I got to see what they can do.
Yeah, low key.
I got to see if they're consistent, because like I said, obviously people say I'm a South American, Sam hater. I don't hate, man. Listen, I just rate what I see on the screen. That's all I'm doing, bro. And everybody else gassing them up, saying they can make it all the way to the grand finals. I mean, sure, they can make it, but they ain't go win it. But I'm telling you, in Birmingham, they're playing on a different level. If they're on the other side of the bracket, they could potentially be in NRG. They could potentially be in Ultimates. They could potentially make it to the grands, bro. And that would have been real impressive. It really was Lost and Drew's, in my estimation, their best tournament with Yan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Yan played well, but to Raw's point, like if Yan elevates to that level that we know Yan can play at, I mean, he might. I mean, they really a problem at that point, in my estimation. I mean, they can beat anybody, but it's about the consistency, though. I got to see that again. I haven't seen that from them as a collective at all since they've been together. They've always had individual flashes. They've had big W's, but this one was a little different. If they could do that, man. They could do that, man. They'll be there.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Because we're talking about consistency, right? Here, do we think that? Because South America is a pretty good region, like the top 8 in South America, but it's like not as competitive as the top in the major regions. Do you feel like Furia's level could be hindered by the lack of high level competition in that region? Or no?
I think it's actually it's boosted somehow. I don't know how it works, because every time they come back over to America, they go down. Yep. And then they go back to Sam. They go right back up. And you're like, wow, these are two completely different teams. I think they're just comfortable. I mean, it could be the whole environment, being around family, friends, being in your home country. Like it's a variety of factors that might play into it. I mean,
I think the biggest thing is the play style difference. Like they play a whole different game in South America. They're way faster. They're more just speed is king down in South America compared to North America. You're keeping the ball close. You're keeping control of the ball, which tends to look like the play is a lot more slowed down and not as like close together. Like players aren't as close to each other because you're waiting on 1v1 solo plays. So there are teams at the top of North America which are getting a lot better at spreading the wealth and utilizing each other to move down the field and things of that nature. But in South America, when speed is king and they come back to North America, it catches you off guard. And when they came to America, they got used to our game. They used our play style, and which slowed them down, and it wasn't good for them and that makeup of players. So this is more beneficial to them playing in South America, where their play style is to just play fast and beat everybody to the ball.
I like. Gotta agree with it. We'll see if they can stand out. Now, of course, we've had a lot of teams over the course of the season stand out. Of course, we always have those early takes when we look at rosters. Some teams have super teams. Some teams are a little questionable, and then they develop over the course of the season. But we're going to start out. We're going to do surprises too, but we're going to start off with the disappointments. Biggest disappointments of the season. I mean, when we talk about those expectations, Mel, you already got a reaction, man. Talk to me about it. How do you feel?
No, please don't let me go. Oh, please do not let me go.
Don't let him go. Somebody hold him back. Somebody hold him back, because once he get on his soapbox, he ain't gonna stop. Somebody hold him, please.
All right. Desmond, please start us off, man.
I think the most. I mean, there's a decent amount of disappointments you can actually name this season, which is kind of crazy because there's a lot of teams that had extremely high expectations coming into the season, or at least better expectations than they had in previous seasons iterations. So I can name off a few, but the biggest one that stands out to me, and it might be the boring answer, it might be the one that may be on a lot of people's mind, is Vitality. Like, how do 3 world champions not click to the level that they should be clicking on to be competing at the top of EU? Well, they are competing at the top of EU, but like, I think their floor should be winning. Yeah, exactly. Like their floor should be top 2 every single time. Like they should be pulling an NRG, what an NRG's been doing the entire season and a half. They should be doing that consistently every single time in EU, and even going into majors, they should be top 2. So Vitality, 3 world champions, especially the recent world champion, you expect the caliber of players on this list. Like we don't even talk about Zen no more to the level that we used to. Drolly is the name that we speak of now, and even if it's not Drolly, then it might be Vatira, it might be Atao. It's not Zen. Like Zen's name doesn't get brought up, and that's not because he's not playing at the level. It's because he's not winning. We talk about winners, bro, and that's just the reality of the situation. His name's not being brought up. Monkey Moon's name doesn't get brought up until we talk about majors, because that's where he's won. That's where he's won, and that's what he does when he gets to majors. So I just think throughout the entire season, that team has been the biggest disappointment in my eyes.
Yeah, I would say Vitality. I agree with that. I would agree with that, because you expect them at least win one online regional minimum. At this point in the season, they've definitely been disappointing, very disappointing. And people talk about NIP and not making the major stuff. That's one thing, but I mean, you've got 2/3 of BDS who just came off winning the world championship, plus Zen, who won the world championship before that and was arguably the best player in the game. So I would say that. I think that's a good take. Vitality over NIP. I'll take that.
All right, Mel.
Now listen,
we
can't have a whole soapbox, Mel. We got to get to the FT top 10, so make it quick.
Okay, you know what? Listen, this past, as much of a GK fan as I am, I was so excited to see what this NIP roster could do. You have 3 great. You have Oski made top 6 at Worlds with Oxygen. You had Itachi. I don't know what he made top 6 too at Worlds. He won a major. He made a major of top 4 last season. And then you had Nas, an up and comer. I'd never really rated Nas that high, but I still thought he was a really good player. And like, that season, I don't know what that was. I feel sorry for a lot of NIP fans. I'm just saying. They should have made a major. They should. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Oski. I'm so sorry for Oski
over
for
GK.
GK taking major spot. But They should have made a major, and
Over
they
who?
should have performed much better. Over who?
Over GK?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think. I mean, they theoretically should have made it over GK. We had a stupid good run to make the major.
Stupid good run.
We had probably one of the. What someone said it was one of the.
I mean, they would have made the major, but GK had a great run.
They had a great run, exactly.
So
And-
the
but the
NIP, not,
second split was
NIP
very
would have had it.
disappointing.
GK just did what they had to do.
Exactly, and then the second split was just Not only that, not only NIP but complexity. I don't want to talk about complexity right now. That was
Complexity. Okay, you're saying complexity disappointing.
wanna
Okay,
talk-
listen, I think
That was
complexity
bad.
has been going underneath everybody's radar.
Yeah, I mean, with the players that they have CRR, they have Diaz, they had Razebull, now they have Frosty. Like with Razebull's a great player, but now with Frosty to perform how they did, someone brought up a very. I'm gonna say this with the least disrespect possible.
Oh gosh,
Listen, listen.
I'm scared. Actually,
last preseason, no, don't worry. Last preseason, Frosty was on NRG, right? And or last year's preseason, and for 37 days or whatever, they did an interview as like, who's the one play you don't want to make it? He said Kofer. Not only,
and then Kofor went and took his spot. That's where you're going with it.
And then
Hey,
made
listen.
the major over him. That is
Listen, that's what
insane.
happens, man.
I
Kofor
don't
nice.
know.
Kofor nice.
Kofor is nice.
You gotta
man.
respect it. All right, let's get to the FT top 10, man. Let's get to it tomorrow.
Okay, so we're not gonna talk about teams that did well this season. We're just gonna skip over that one.
I mean, listen, we got 4 minutes, bro. FT top 10 is more important.
All right. If you want, chat, First Touch Crew, let me know who you think rose above expectations this season. Tag me. You guys have been tagging me. I really appreciate it. Make sure to keep tagging me on the socials, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, or wherever else. Now, here we go, man. First Touch Top 10 is back. And boy, oh boy, am I excited to see what we've come up with this time. Did the crew get it right? Mel, you're going to have to let us know. Give us number 10.
Those are dragging me down.
How am I dragging you down?
Relax.
Oh my
Gen
gosh,
G Mobile One
already.
at 10.
That's good. That's good right there. We like him at 10. We like him at 10. What's that number 9?
No, we don't. We're missing
Where's
somebody
Wilson at
already.
number
We're
nine?
missing
We like
someone
him at 10.
already, bro.
Twisted Minds at 9. We
Twisted
like that
Minds at
number
9.
9. We like that at 9.
Oh, this is T-Base's list.
We like that at
Let's
9. What's number
see.
8? What's number 8? Space Station. We
Space
don't mind the
Station
SSG at 8. That's not bad. That's not bad. Number 8.
Let's see number 7.
All right, what else we got? What else we got? Vitality is 7.
Vitality
Listen,
is
that's not bad.
7.
What was mine?
Okay.
Look at my list.
Interesting.
This is,
Number 6.
Do a cross analysis here.
Dignitas
Dignitas at number 6.
What are we doing?
I mean, listen, we're gonna find
Are we
out.
not
bro.
watching the game?
I'm watching everything. That's number 5.
What's number
Wait,
5?
Dignitas? Oh,
We're not watching the
Wait,
game.
so
We're
what
not
was
watching
at
the game.
five?
We're not
Okay, what
watching
was
the
at
game.
5?
We're
Not
not
bad.
watching the game.
Wait, is this my list? Oh,
We're
no,
not
no,
watching the
SSG
game.
is 7. At
We're not
Vitality.
watching
Let's
the game.
let's see number
What's
4. Fury at 4.
Okay, we're good then. 3 could be Falcons,
What
2
do
could
you
be
mean we're
NRG.
good then? What do you mean?
And then one's gonna be yeah, you might as well throw them
Call me
all up
court.
there. We know what it
3,
is.
2, 1.
Oh,
Yeah, we know
we're
what
not
it is.
watching the
Okay,
game.
FT top 10, baby, looking nice.
We're just not watching.
What do you mean not watching? Where'd you have Dignitas? Where'd you have Dignitas?
Dignitas is
your
at least top 5 now. At least
5
easily.
over who?
5.
Over Ultimates.
Huh?
What, bro? The consistency from them right now.
Ultimates. Did you see what Dignitas did in Birmingham? Or were they? They didn't even make the bracket.
Same roster.
Okay, so now we're arguing the major. Now we're this is the power rankings, right?
Power rankings
This
matter.
is not a power ranking. This is
listen,
not the
major
argument you
is the
used
part of the regular
last
season.
week. That it's a power ranking that it's
The major is a
week
part
to
of the
week.
season. Yeah,
Week to
it
week.
goes week to week.
Oh, so
listen,
now the major matters.
My
The
major
major
always
that
matter.
happened how long ago? How much gameplay
All right,
have we
so
gotten
this
since
how-
the major?
That's how power rankings work. So power ranking wise, so after the major, Ultimates were like
So
top
now
2.
the major matters.
No. Listen,
So when I ranked Ultimates above NRG right after the major, it
you
didn't
ranked
matter.
above Ultimates above it. Oh wow.
Exactly.
When they
See,
just
Mel,
beat
it's
them,
crazy.
when they just
crazy.
beat them
Over
at the
a
major,
game, over one game, really?
when they just beat them at the
Here
major,
we
Over a
go.
game.
Here we
Over a-
go.
oh
it
my
doesn't
God,
matter.
bro,
It doesn't matter how
this
much
is
they beat them by. They beat them at the
All right.
major. They beat them. Did they not beat them? So
Yeah,
they should be
yeah.
power ranked
Yeah, they beat
above
'em.
them
They
because
beat
No,
they
that's
beat
not how power
them.
rankings work. No.
That's exactly how power
So
ranks
like
work.
Ultimates were like top 3 with NRG and Carmine. And then
What?
Dignitas was like outside the top 10. So Dignitas has been rising up the power rankings. They played so well. Now they've gone all the way to 6. But Ultimates have moved down because they've been inconsistent, so they moved down to 5. So that's how power rankings work. I've explained it in layman's terms for you.
Yeah, you know what, man?
Nah,
all right, man.
Listen, I'm gonna take the Diz challenge, man. Diz, I'm gonna take your challenge because I put Dignitas at 6. I could not find a logical reason. Well, some people argue at top 4. I thought that was insane. Top 4 is insane. 5 and 6, it's a little interchangeable, but I'll accept the challenge here. They beat Karma Corp one time to win a finals. Congrats. They've just faced them. They just played them and they got swept. And we just talked about it at the top of the show. It wasn't close. It wasn't pretty. And you even almost called it out as a fluke. So since we're even getting into those conversations, why do we think that they're going to be better than a team that made grand finals at a major that also just made the last grand finals in their region, beating NRG?
Wait, what are you talking to me?
I just have a question.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Man, we done with the show, man. We done with the show, man. That's a good way to cap it off. We hit an hour mark. That's a good way to cap it off. This man's dusted. Dusted him up, DeMar. Swept him. Hit him with the broom.
Nah, bro, y'all arguments don't make sense, bro, at all.
Bro. You got cooked so bad you forgot he was even talking to you. You tried to tune him out.
I was not. No, I wasn't even paying attention.
We hit the
bro.
hour
Your
mark,
arguments
man.
don't make sense, bro.
And we hit the hour mark, man. It's time to get out of here.
You know what?
Got to do
okay.
first touch after dark,
I have
man. Listen, the people want quick thing. You got 20 seconds.
20 seconds. 1, where the heck is Genomates? 2, space station is that
Exactly.
low? Y'all, we gotta work on these lists.
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
listen. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
But listen, we have to start doing some after darks, man. The people want to hear us talk all day, but listen, we only got an hour cable now, and we're over the minute. DeMar, you know what to do.
I know what to do. It's almost time to toodle it. But first things first, Melekiym, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's been great. This is your first time on the show, man. So of course we gotta get your final thoughts, man. So we get ready to close out.
I really do appreciate the invite to be on this show. This was really, really fun. You guys are great personalities. You guys are really great people as well. And I really do want to thank all of you guys, not only for being my inspirations, but for also personally helping me like my entire career as well, for sure. So thank you so much for that. And I hope the chat didn't think I embarrassed myself at all, because I thought I was pretty on the comment. I thought I was on the head today. I'm not gonna lie. All I was saying was common sense. That's all I'm saying. Everything's common sense. But outside of that, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for bringing me on, and hopefully I get to come back again soon in the future. But thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure to follow Melekiym on his socials.
Yes, please.
Twitter. What, Melekiym?
No,
Melekiym?
at Anospot.
At Anospot. There it is. At Anospot. There you go. W's in the chat for Mel. Let's get on out of here. DeMar.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to First Touch today. Thank you for Melekiym. Again, please show him some love on the socials, please. We would really appreciate it to us. Thank you for all the W's in the chat we see from you guys today. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. We have loved you and appreciate you, First Touch crew. And we'll be keeping eyes and interacting with you guys more and more as time goes on. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes making this show possible. We love and appreciate you guys so much for your hard work making First Touch as amazing as it is. And of course, without further ado, 1, 2, toodaloo. We'll see you.